inside before you judge the surface. Look in my eyes and read between the line. My soul is searching. Chosen, gotta focus. They notice. TONYA, Kiana, and Molly. Action, no bragging, no boasting. Facts with no capping. They hold it down. Envision these words and use them as power. The enemy lurking. I'm calling my spirit, and if it can hear me, it's spoken with purpose.
They might fall off. Don't do that.
I think we ready to go.
All right. Welcome back to another show with SWP. Y'all already know when we talk about any and everything, there is a lot of noise in the audience today. They so rude, but y'all already know we let anybody come in here and handle they, they think they can have their way, but this ain't Burger King. But y'all already know this is your girl TONYA.
And I'm your girl Kiana. And I'm Monique. What's the problem? Oh, okay. Everybody went to looking back.
All right, well, we do have two guests with us today. We have our new profound friend over here. What's your name, man?
I go by One Dog.
What's up, One
How
Dog?
y'all doing?
Absolutely, and we have...
Oh, Mr. Indeed.
That's
Mr.
right.
Indeed.
And we got Mr. Indeed over here in the cut. Say what?
What's happening?
So what y'all do?
I do spoken word, part of the Winterville movement right now.
Okay.
Been at it by a few years now, but that's what I do in the city, spoken word.
What about you, Indeed?
Oh, I do a little music, spoken word.
That real.
I be preaching within my music.
Yo, that's real. I checked the mic, just for you, bro. Five, you five, bro.
Indeed, bet that up, bro.
Yeah, you five, bro. For real.
Bet that up, man.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
All
That's
right,
good.
Kim, let's go with the topic, honey.
All right, our topic tonight, you guys, is baby mama, baby daddy drama, co-parenting issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all ready? I hear y'all up under y'all.
It's
Yeah, I
finna
hear
get
them up
real.
under they
It's finna get
breath.
real.
Oh, y'all ready?
Look,
It's
y'all
gonna get
already know we
real.
had to talk about this because I felt like we needed two guys on the show because y'all they complain so much, man. They
Oh,
complain
my
about
God.
these baby mamas so much that I felt like we needed to give them an opportunity to be heard. Y'all
Y'all
being
gonna-
funny about it, but in all realness, for real, we
Y'all
feel
gonna let
like
us be
y'all
heard tonight without being cut off? All right.
That
Yes,
part,
you hear.
without
Right.
being cut off, huh?
At
No,
all.
no,
We
that's-
here to hear
You hear
y'all.
him
That
now,
don't
you
mean
hear
we
him.
here to agree, but we here to hear.
I'm finna ask y'all mind me asking the question. Hey, is any of y'all baby mamas?
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
are? Yeah, it's finna be a long night.
It's
It's
gonna be a long night.
long night. Yeah, buddy.
You a baby daddy?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
man.
many
I
baby
only got
mamas
one
you got?
baby mama.
How many baby mamas you got?
One.
One baby mama.
Okay.
That's it.
We got more baby daddies than y'all do baby mamas. Okay, and we like they got
Y'all get along with y'all baby mamas? You get along with your baby mama?
Yeah, that's why we finna talk about it. We finna talk about it. That's why we talking about it. We finna talk about it tonight.
About to talk about. You said you had some questions. You want to get your questions out now? You
That
want
was
to be
the one. That was
bombarded?
the only question.
Oh, it's the noise. We had a baby daddy.
It was y'all baby mama. That was, I mean, y'all say y'all got more baby daddies than baby mama.
Yeah. So, One Dog, what you think is a main problem that you have with your baby mama?
Or do you have problems with?
Me, it was, I think, because we were young, 18, I had mine, so we were both was immature, and a lot of the cases within that I think they getting, my baby mama had got a lot of advice from her mother, and not knowing where the advice is coming from, that cycle where her mother hate my baby mama daddy, so she giving her bad advice about certain situations when she should have, been a grown up a lot of situations. But I think that cycle go on a lot.
Right.
Instead of giving good advice, they just be bitter and passing that bad advice down. That was we were just, but it come down to we were young. We both was immature at the time.
Oh, so y'all good now?
Is
We
it
all right.
better?
Nah, we all right though. We all right. My daughter, she grown, so most of my conversations go through straightforward with my daughter. So I don't really have to.
So as you got older,
Conversation.
did it get better? That because you keep saying it, you were young, but as you got
Well,
older,
yeah, it got a little bit better. Communication got better.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So,
Wow. So you and the baby mama didn't stay together. Y'all was not together.
Nah, my daughter was probably up to 2 years old. We been it from there.
You?
Yeah, see, I'm going through your immature part.
Yeah.
When you're immature, I'm probably going through that, being young.
Yeah.
You know how that go. Y'all, you know, baby, the advice be coming for the baby mama anyway.
Yeah.
Advice be coming from all sorts of angles. She don't know no better. She just take anybody advice thinking they telling her what she, you know what I'm saying, like she doing right, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, right, what she want to hear. And really, she ain't doing nothing. It ain't doing no justice for it, you know.
Whatever you say, so it don't mean nothing.
What's an
You feel me?
example that said this wrong advice y'all talking about?
You know, like
Go straight down child support off.
Child support
Like that. Instead of working
So
this
why
thing out together.
why are they going to child support though?
Nah,
Y'all
mine would take care of my family. I can say, you know, my brother was in prison at the time, but you know, my mom, my aunt, you know, like we made sure, you know, we were taken care of. Mine was taken care of before she even was born, but.
Let me ask you this, 'cause I know a lot of baby mamas go put their baby daddies on child support once they get someone else and they move on.
Yeah.
Right.
So was that an issue?
I wouldn't say that. It was just mostly just moving back with her mom, and mostly her mom took advantage of the situation, the financial situation of it all, control of it, making sure that, you know, that money come to her in our household, and want to dictate when I can see my child, want to dictate if my child can spend the night or not at my house. All
So do
kind
you
of
think,
stuff.
with her putting you on child support, that she was being spiteful?
Of course, yeah. She told me that.
Absolutely.
So you were doing what you were needing to do, providing everything, and then she just
Did it
Correct.
anyway.
She did it
Correct.
anyway.
Correct. We were young, you know, different, you know, in the streets, different stuff like that. But everything it wasn't no wild lifestyle where my child wasn't safe or anything like that. Everything was cool. Everything was taken care of.
You know, that's why I feel like they do it anyway. They go to child support out of spite.
No.
You feel me? It ain't necessarily about 9 times out of 10
necessity.
they emotion. Yeah, it ain't about the necessity, the funds financially. It's the emotions really. You know, feeling like I ain't with you or you ain't want to be with me. I'm gonna put you on child support. Feeling like got some kind of control. You know what I'm saying?
Big control
Yeah, you
issue.
know what I'm saying? Try to
Yeah.
control the whole situation due to emotion.
But most baby mothers know that. I know in my case, we know that you get more out of the dad not putting them on child support
Absolutely.
than
Correct.
putting them on child support.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why I say I'm going through the immature phases of it all. You know what I'm saying? Her not being aware of that, and then the bad advice coming from all
And then
angles.
she'll realize that later.
Yeah, you feel me? It's like you only killing, you know, you killing yourself, you killing the situation.
Let me ask you this though. So both of y'all on child support?
Nah,
No. So if you're put on child support and the judge say you only have to pay a certain amount, do you just pay that or do you help out more? The child call you and say,
At first, it wasn't no penny over. It was at first.
right? I was finna say,
I was upset. He wasn't getting nothing
yeah,
after
that
that.
real.
But I got older. It was like, you know, I made sure, you know, strictly to my daughter, you know, make sure she was straight on whatever. But at that time, nah, it was no penny over.
Yeah,
For
yeah. I
real.
feel like, see, I couldn't really tell you what I do
Yeah.
until I was placed in that situation.
right.
Feel me? But 9 times out of 10, you know, I probably would be on no penny over. You know what I'm saying? And that's just because of the fact, like Big Bro said, I was
You ain't
hurt.
have to do this shit.
Yeah, like you ain't have to do that. But that's what you want to do. We gonna
Oh,
give
that's
you.
what you want? $30?
Yeah, you want 99 cents.
$30.
You
Man,
get
you got
99
that-
cents.
And they had a
You
little
get my
old
penny.
white lady looking at me,
Yeah.
telling me what to do and how to do it and what I better do.
You feel me?
I was hot.
All
'Cause she
against
wasn't
that.
there when we made this baby. So
Well, you was in
telling me-
Seminole County?
That's how I feel.
No, I was in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was hot. You know, I was mad.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like putting the white people in your situation. Period. I'm against
Yeah,
that.
they ain't got
though.
no business out
You know what I'm saying? Like for
Shit,
real.
shit.
Like, how you,
Yeah.
that's what they do.
But the
That's how,
crazy thing about what I think hurt men the most is the fact like we young, what we talking about, we love each other and all this, and as soon as the baby come, boom,
another
you
thing.
down the whole
Another word.
the situation shift.
Yeah.
I think that will bother a lot
The
of
situation shit.
the situation shift.
What he
Yeah.
called it, you
Just
heard?
dealing with each other
Say
then.
relationship first, not
Yeah, the
situation.
situation.
Real.
Dang, they
That's
downgrade.
Nah, it's a situation.
real. That's what it end up being.
Do
a
your
situation.
baby mom have other kids?
She had one other son before, you know, we got around.
Before? And
Yeah,
what about
before
you?
me.
It was later down the line. She had a daughter.
Okay, so both of y'all baby mamas have other kids that's not yours.
Correct.
So let me ask you this: if you give, I know you had posted this about.
I was gonna actually read. I had seen this post. And it says a man gave the mother of his child $600 for school supplies and school clothes, but the man had found out that his baby mama had split the money 3 ways with her other 2 kids that are not his. The man had found out and confronted her about it, but she had explained her reason that her other 2 baby daddies didn't have anything for their children, so it wouldn't be fair for one child to have the nice things and the others didn't. The man was mad and told her that it is not his responsibility to look out for the other 2 kids that aren't his. Whose side are you on?
All the mamas on the mama side.
And all the daddies on the daddy
What
side.
about the daddy?
See, I mean, yeah, in that situation, but see, that's what I mean by he probably was put on child support due to her emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about
But it wasn't child support. He didn't say child support. He
Okay.
said he gave her $600 for school, supplies. That was
So they split then. They probably split due to emotions. You know what I'm saying? They split up due to emotions. Now you know what I'm saying? You got 2 other baby daddies, but you at my chest. Or he probably did it out of him wanting to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now you splitting it with the other kids. I understand the situation with her doing that. You
Right,
feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
But if it was something like, in other words, if it was like something her attacking him about, you know what I'm saying? We don't really know the detail of it.
Yeah,
But
well.
if it was her attacking him
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it, then I would understand why, you
Right.
feel me, he confronted the situation.
Yeah.
You feel
I
me?
get
Yeah.
What you think?
I agree somewhat for her, but like you say, it depends on if she was antagonizing him, but then give all the same energy to the rest of the other 2 baby daddies. then
Right.
That's wrong.
Right.
But if they not in the picture, but she had to do what she had to do in the process, make sure her kids straight. 'Cause
So
they
you
had
okay
her.
with her?
spending that
Like,
money.
because like even if like I say, if I go get some, take something to my child, I expect, even though that ain't my child, I'm gonna do for her the same way. You know, kids can't help that. You know, they help whatever the process is.
That's
So,
good.
That's what's up.
So it's about the kids at the end of the day. I think a lot of us forget that it's all about the kids.
Yeah, and
pride and egos or spitefulness in many cases.
So what
That's
would
what
you
I'm
guys
talking
say is y'all biggest disagreement with the baby moms?
Oh, you talking about personally, baby mama? Or you talking about just
Like, no,
period?
as far as the co-parenting, not on a personal level. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be something personal that may be the biggest disagreement, but what is that biggest disagreement that affect y'all as
It
co-parenting?
be the decisions out of emotions. The decisions made out of emotion, or if anything, that's really what lead to it being a problem with co-parenting.
So when y'all say these emotions, because y'all ain't pinpointing nothing, y'all leaving all the good details off the table. What y'all mean?
Whatever
But
y'all
trying
feel
to
like.
say
She still
whatever
want
y'all
you, you
feel-
still
well,
want
my-
her. She
well, a
mad
lot of
because you got another
situations-
chick. I mean, give
Yeah,
me
all that,
something.
feel
exactly,
like-
stuff like that.
No,
You're right though.
a
Stuff
lot
like
of,
that. I was just
a lot of
definitely.
times it's all about control. They want to dictate when, like I say, when you see your child not see them, or you ain't doing what they say, or they done heard this in the street and this and this and that, and they just run with it. They ain't no talking that. It
Ain't no substance.
Sitting down and get some understanding. So a lot of it is control, and when they feel like they not moving. How you move to the beat, or when they using the child against you, not moving to that beat,
boy.
it takes to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So we want to say hi to our live guests that's
Hello,
watching,
y'all.
and
Hey.
also
Are they
the
talking?
audience in here. We want to thank you guys for coming and
Hey,
supporting.
hey.
We do have an audience member that wants to.
Get special shout outs from the.
Okay.
Y'all crazy.
So my question is, I hear it's really easy to point out. It's really easy to point out someone else's flaws. We have eyes in front of us, so we can see someone else's. So I want you guys to be able to identify your own mistakes. Because were you super dad during this whole situation? Because you keep pointing out what mom did wrong, or some things that mom should have changed, and all of those things. Right. So point out either that you were this massive super dad, or let me feel.
I know that
of
right.
course not.
I know
And
that
I just
right.
want to point. I want
I
to
know
point out that
that's
her
right.
hand is on her hip.
I know that right. You feel me?
She mean what she said.
But that's
Yeah.
She
Because, and I I get it because we see other people's stuff, and
Right.
so we forget you got your own choices.
Yeah.
You made a choice to lay with this chick, so you need to own that because
Absolutely.
you chose a woman like this
Absolutely.
to be the mother of your
Speak,
child.
Cheryl.
But you don't. But you don't know
recognize-
sometime until the child
Absolutely,
comes. either.
Absolutely, but
Yeah.
you still made that choice to
Right.
go raw with her.
Yeah, you're
Gotcha.
right.
Like I
correct.
So
say,
that's what I'm saying.
But-
Take the responsibility.
But let me
for
speak
that.
as a man
Hold
though.
on now. Let the man answer now. Let the
No,
man
as
answer.
a man, like in many cases,
She is
in
not
many
playing.
cases with men,
She ain't
a lot of
playing.
us, I don't know if bro was raised in
wanna
a single
talk.
parent home, I was. So when it comes down to the situation with the female or the young lady, a lot of times, even my own mother was like still more towards her because she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? So me as a man, I didn't have too much some support. Her, she got her aunties and all the women in her family got her back and this and that. Oh yeah, F that nigga and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm
Indeed.
saying. So we sitting in the corner like this trying to figure out what can we do,
How
but
to go
nobody's
about it.
on our side at the end of the day, especially
Yeah.
being 18.
Yeah.
Like you said, we old enough to make that decision. And yeah, we were young, talking about we love each other, we finna get married one day, but you're right. I made my
have any
mistakes
fault in the
within the
situation?
anger too. Emotions like, okay, she don't want
That's
to let me
it.
see my child, I ain't finna answer the phone. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm
Stuff
saying.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Right,
funny.
right,
That's
right,
what we like
right,
to hear your fault.
right, right.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk
But
about
that, so when you say owning the, your own
Yes.
flaw or whatever,
Yeah.
see, my thing is, that's understandable. It ain't nothing for a man to do that. You feel me? Like I say, the problem is the making the decisions out of the emotions.
Right.
That's where it's a problem at. You know what I'm saying? That ain't necessarily attacking the female. Well, everything she do is wrong. That's why it's a situation. You feel me? Like, no, you can tell when you mess up. You feel what I'm saying? But I'd rather not make a decision out of my emotion. You feel what I'm saying? So if you aware enough to know not to do that, I expect that from you on the other end.
talk.
Don't make that decision out your emotion. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it be
I'll say
about.
one more thing
Yeah.
as well. Any black man that was born in a single parent home, the last thing we want to do is raise our children in a single parent
That's
home.
real.
So we work hard,
That's
put
real.
ourselves in a situation, and we want to work. You know what I'm saying?
That's
with
real.
that, but it's like I'm trying to talk to her, but I'm talking to her and her people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Or a
saying?
brick
So
wall.
then you just pretty much shut down at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you
Yeah,
just-
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
It's an effort situation after that. You
And so that
Exactly.
that brings me to another question. I know you said you only have one baby mom.
right.
So if you ever choose,
She's a great mother too. So as far as taking care of my child, so I
that's
can't
that
say
But
when
that-
you
yeah,
give
that's
praise
nice.
where
That's
praise
good.
is due. That's,
Right.
that's
Indeed,
that's
definitely,
honorable.
definitely.
But like if you have multiple baby moms, even looking at that and how you continue to choose the same type of woman. Because then you have to begin to look at your own behavior because what's
That
going
don't
on
mean
there?
they're the same type of woman because they got multiple women.
You sound like somebody I know.
Well, I gotta bring a couple other
That's
partners. I gotta bring my other partners.
That's
in.
Cause
Yeah.
that ain't
Yeah,
something you
yeah.
can address because
Yeah,
you don't
'cause
have
they don't
multiple
have
baby
That's why I
moms.
ain't have no.
Yeah,
because
because I
from-
got more than one. I have more than one child. Y'all, hello.
You don't get her no crown. You don't get her none of that crown.
No, because we got a show, so we want to make sure that they can hear.
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
no, you go
yeah,
ahead.
I was finna say like choosing the same woman. I don't think that's like that'd be a bigger role. Sometimes it go a little deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? It don't
Did
really
you like
like
what you like?
that too, or more so. You know what it is too. You almost fall for what you experienced growing up, what you seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We pick a girl we think we like you say, you don't know how they be until the jit come about. You feel me? But it really ain't even of that. It's like being raised. We saw this kind of woman, or we seen this kind of woman, and next thing you know, when it's time to deal with one, you just so happen to keep dealing with the same kind of woman. You know what I'm saying? It's,
always been around.
Yeah, you always been around, or you just seen. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really always by choice. It's just that would attract you. You know what I'm saying? That too. Yeah, but then you got choice to make adapt to that, and once you will be aware of that, you can try to
But I
find a
don't-
white girl.
I don't think like if you have more than
He
one.
say find a white girl.
I'm just playing. I'm just
You
playing.
like that? He over there
I'm just
too.
playing.
So you trying to say white is right?
No, I'm just saying like.
Yeah, because you better back
When
up
you,
all the way.
when you aware, when you aware to you dealing with the
close to
same kind
elbows
of girl,
and
it's like only time how you know when you gonna deal with something different.
Oh, I ain't mad at you for dealing with something different, but don't leave that impression that white is right.
No, I ain't got.
I don't
I
think
don't
you
got no
can
interest for
you can
white
really
girl.
say that if we're not together anymore, that you're gonna be the same way my last baby daddy was or how he acts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or we're gonna have the same issues that I had with my last baby daddy. Yeah, I don't think you can base that off of who you pick. I think it's all based on. I think sometimes what happens in the relationship, like why y'all split up, what y'all going through now, if y'all not over it, you know, if the other person hasn't healed from it. It's a lot of things that come into play with why, you know what I'm saying, a baby daddy or a baby mom might be feuding, or they might make decisions out of emotions.
Yeah.
But can I ask y'all a question too? Have anybody really like chastised y'all about actions y'all made within
Being a baby mama.
Yeah.
What you mean
Chastise?
Yeah.
Chastised. Now, none of y'all, a lot of y'all haven't been straightened.
Y'all don't get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all
From
Like,
get
don't
that.
nobody
from your
correct
elders.
us when we're wrong? Is that what you talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. Have y'all been corrected? Have
Oh,
y'all
I
had
don't
somebody
I
in your
don't like
corner?
being surrounded by yes people, so I'm corrected all the time. And if I ain't got nobody around me correcting me, I got a problem.
Yeah, I'm far as the baby mama, baby daddy situation.
No, I'm talking about in life general.
Right.
Trust me, all these heifers corrects.
Right.
All these heifers.
Y'all
Runs
But
too.
y'all grew up together
They
though, so
correct.
y'all were learning and experiencing things at the same time.
Yeah.
then, so-
That don't mean that the generation before us was doing the correcting. I think that may be something that we may not have realized in the older generation, that we may have wondered amongst ourselves. But regardless of whether I realize it in the old generation or not, this generation that I have around me, we do correct each other.
Correct me if I'm
So,
wrong,
yeah.
bit, bro. But I think what he was saying is, for females and compared to the dudes,
Yeah.
No,
we get chastised
all the time.
Yeah.
by our decisions when it
Yeah.
come to baby mama, baby
And y'all
daddy.
think we don't.
Y'all, that's what he's saying.
But
Yeah,
from,
I'm telling
only
you
from the
that we
dude
do.
only
I
though.
do.
Yeah,
Most
from
time
the-
it come from the baby daddy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
think
Yeah,
y'all the
it
ones
ain't like-
who do the correcting?
No, we trying
Say it
to
come from me.
try to, but yeah,
I'm not
nobody
here.
It seems
Now
like
that's
dang,
right.
we ain't getting it through. Brick wall
Yeah,
type
he
of
said
stuff.
we getting corrected from the baby daddies.
about
Oh, I ain't say
My
y'all
baby
get
daddy
y'all
can't do no
definitely not
correcting.
get corrected for me. Y'all ain't trying
You
to
don't
hear
think
that.
we're being
Even
corrected
if we
at
make
all?
sense, even if we make sense what we talk
My
about,
baby
it's
daddy
still
can't do no
y'all.
correcting.
Like the people in y'all
Your
ear, the
daddy
people in
can't
y'all
correct
ear.
Well, I ain't saying that he's above. He's not above correcting me, but I'm just telling you, he ain't laying down no correction. He wasn't
See,
no
the other
position
guy-
to get
That's
no
it right
correction.
there.
He's
That's
not
what we
in
talking
a
about.
position to get correction. But
I
why?
don't know about calling it correction. I maybe
saying
call it
it's-
about communicating, because I've learned to communicate. You know, when in my younger days, I didn't really communicate. But now, as I've gotten older, I've learned how to communicate, and I've learned how to be slow to speak and listen, quick to listen. You know what I'm saying? To listen to what somebody is saying versus always trying to have a response to what they're saying.
That part.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
As far
Yeah, that's how it be right there. That's how it be. That's how they.
that's not what we gonna do.
Nah, we ain't speaking specific on you.
Oh no, he called my name.
Oh, he did? Okay. My bad.
No, but as far as Monique asking me, like, my baby daddy couldn't correct me, I can stand correction from anybody. I stand correction from my kids. So I can take it from anywhere. I made that comment because of the type of baby daddy that I had, to be honest. He set the tone very early as far as what he wasn't going to do. And he was a little bitter about us not being together anymore. And he made it very clear that he wasn't going to take care of the kids because we wasn't together. So everything he did was in response to us not being together. I go ask for some money. He said, no. I asked for it again. He said, no. I mean, if y'all really want me to get into detail, he said, no, it's my tricking money.
My Cheeto.
So,
gotta get
at
some
some
ass to get some
yeah,
cash.
exactly. So unless you want to replace that position that this hoe gonna do, you know, then I got, hey, look, it's my tricking money now. So at some point, you know, I ain't got time for that foolery.
Yeah.
You know, but and then again, because you know I had already moved on, so you know then I have a little bit of an issue dealing with my husband in the house because he want to know why he get a pass. Yeah, who said he was getting a pass? Because he wasn't listening to me. So you do go to child support. Okay, so we gonna go to child support, put you on child support. Now he mad because child support ain't enforcing what they done told him he got to pay. But I get cussed out by it. Oh, you get a free pass. How you getting a free pass? You need to talk to him. If I was talking to him first, that's why I told people to do it, because we're listening to me. So now you want to get mad at me because the people got people to talk. I mean, what you want me to do? Now, y'all know this nigga is a head buster. So, I mean, he busting people upside the head every day, all day, every day. So now it's time for me to go back, and now I'm getting my head took off. Now, we ain't doing that, bro. We're going to take care of these kids and leave that nigga alone.
My Cheeto.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
My Cheeto.
But that's a little bit of my drama. But do you think that the baby mamas do that too? Like they mad that you guys done moved on, so they just like, nah, you ain't getting the kids today.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
I'm experiencing that.
Of course.
I've experienced that, yeah.
Look, you know, down a little.
I've
Look, and
experienced
with your response to that, look, man, because there's a couple people, man, that we consider being a guest on this show for this particular topic, because it's very popular. We know that there's definitely some discord as far as the parenting. And you know, from a male's perspective, they have a lot to say, and I have a problem with how some of these baby mamas function, to be honest with you. I'm not all right with it. I'm actually team y'all, so I really wanted to hear, like, I don't want to hear no general idea. I want to hear, like, let's talk about it,
Right.
so that we can tell y'all how we feel about it, because we don't necessarily agree with everything that they're saying. But the point that I went and to some people that wanted to get them to be a guest on the show, they was like,
because the baby mama.
no, we straight right now. No, you trying to cause drama, and I think that's crazy that we can't come up
have
here.
a conversation.
Yeah, that they
communicate,
gonna
but you
hold it
feel
against
like,
you.
Right. You feel like your baby mama gonna be mad at the end of the day if you have this conversation on here.
Exactly.
We
And
need
baby mamas, if y'all that
Yeah.
chick, y'all need to tighten up, cause
Being petty.
I think this is the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
important conversation in the community, in the black community.
That don't happen, and it need to be happening. Yeah.
heck yeah, I found that
Big
very disturbing. I was like, dang, so you think that we can't have a conversation where we're not bad mouthing the baby mom? Because I feel like it's a conversation, it's a way that you can have the conversation about the issues that y'all got going on that you don't agree with, without her trying to retaliate, or vice versa, because you got some single dads out there, and you know what I'm saying, vice versa. So either which way it go, I think that there's a way that you can have a conversation without
And it's
somebody
obvious
having
that
to be
they're
there.
not having these conversations, because if they were, you know what I'm saying, it'd be easy for them to come on here and communicate. They're not
Exactly.
communicating within their household.
I know
They
some
can't
single
talk
dads,
to
They
but-
can't talk to them.
I know some single dads, but they ain't putting their business on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I know, you know, the vice versa on the women's side is every time they baby daddy or
It's
whatever the
up.
situation
It's
make
up.
them mad, they
Boy, it's up, though.
it is all up there. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody
so
know.
I think that's a lot. I know a couple dudes that taking care of their kids on their own. But
So
they
y'all
ain't
got
putting
a
their
problem
business-
with them with the other person disciplining the kid, or is it
Yeah,
okay?
I ain't gonna flex. I'm against that all the way. Like you know,
It depends on what kind of
like big bro. So I don't take nothing from my baby mama. She's a great mother when it comes to that. The kids, you feel me? And I don't think she'll let somebody put their hands on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? My jits. But at the same time, like I don't play that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not only just looking at it like, don't touch my jit, but that's me. If I was to deal with another person, I ain't finna touch their jit.
Right,
Cause that's
right.
their jit.
Right,
Cause
right,
I know
right.
how I feel as a man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't
can
do that.
understand.
But that's what you need to allow me to be in part of their life. Because when it's time
Absolutely.
for
I think
discipline,
that's very
bring them here.
important.
You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Times ain't like the old days when
Yeah.
everybody was on the same page to discipline their kids. Or
Yeah.
different stuff like that. Now you don't know, you know, why that person might hit your child, might be mad with you or feel some type of way about you, so they want to take it out on your
Exactly.
child.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing
They're
like
right.
when we
Yeah.
growed up,
They
all
were
the neighborhood
genuine
was
and they
looking out for the kids
Yep.
and making sure everybody was straight and
Yeah.
Yep.
this child, that child was good, everybody was treated the same. Now you don't know where it coming from. So
Yeah.
nah, it ain't cool.
Absolutely.
Cool, at least nowadays, to be touching on nobody's kids. You
Yeah.
messing with somebody's kids.
Yeah, don't do
I
that.
think that's a very good point. So you feel like if I'm fathering, I don't need nobody else take my place. I got that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I handle
definitely.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I
Definitely.
had my kids, my kids' fathers were not involved in their life. So my husband's been in their life since 1 and maybe 2 and maybe 10 months, something like that. So my kids call him father. That's their dad. So
That's
he
understandable.
disciplined.
That's understandable. See, my thing is, that's understandable. Do he have any other baby mama?
No.
Okay, so that's different. He
Even
don't-
if he had another baby
okay,
mama.
so what I'm saying is, he don't really know the feeling of actually having your own jit as far as somebody
big
else
difference.
being able to father their. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So
Gotcha.
with that being said,
Gotcha.
yeah, and then don't get me wrong, embracing somebody else's child like they your own, yeah, you should. Don't get me wrong, I had to spank my baby mama's son. That
Yeah.
ain't mine.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm all he know. He don't know his daddy.
That's different.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a
I
different
get you.
situation.
I get you.
But when my jits know who I am, and
Yeah.
then you got somebody else, yeah,
That's
respect that. You
Absolutely.
feel
That's
me?
real.
That's
Yeah,
a
you got
very
to.
good point.
Indeed.
Very, very, very good
Big
point.
facts. Big fact.
We have some comments from y'all. From Julia. Hi, Julia.
Hey, Julia.
Hey,
It
Julia.
says, I do agree that women jump on women's side because they want to stick together instead of understanding the man and where they come from because they moved on.
That come from a woman or a man?
That come from a woman, Julia.
Oh, I appreciate you, Julia.
Thank you.
I appreciate
That
you.
put a smile on my
Big fat. Yeah.
She also
there?
comes with.
Some of us out
I don't have
Understand.
kids, by the way.
Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Really?
You ain't dealt with nothing yet. You ain't dealt with nothing
And
yet.
then,
Yeah, you ain't dealt with nothing yet.
Katandra says, bitter baby mamas. She also says some of these women use the kids as a pawn,
Right.
and it's only hurting the kids.
Right.
Thank you. We have another comment from Julia. She says, part of the reason I'm scared to have kids, it's too much if we don't want to stay together. I love to communicate, but everyone can't communicate or listen and understand the other point of views
Right.
to come to an understanding.
Right.
She wise. She a wise young lady. Yeah.
But that's the big thing right there. Nobody really putting the kids first. You know, and if everybody put the kids first, then it wouldn't be no problem communicating.
That part of them emotions.
Bottom of the situation.
That's them
It's
emotions.
gonna
Yeah.
prevent communication issues, but I definitely think that can cause you guys to come to some form of agreement or agree to disagree or some form of resolution quicker than it would be
That's real.
if
But think about grandma back in the day. She always put family first, no matter what her issues was with her man. Well, granddaddy, granddaddy go to the joint, spend up all the money, this and that, whatever happens in the house. But family always came first. She was the backbone. She did best for the family, not her own personal.
Exactly.
What she was going through, she dealt with it. She prayed about it on Sunday. That was it. It ain't.
Took you to church with her
Granddad
Sunday.
did go to church about it. Granddaddy was off the chain. We had some granddaddies that had.
better
My granddad,
say
a
that.
lone boy out of Polk County, was off the chain. He had a lot going on, but she did what's best for the family. I think now it's not like that.
That changed the generation. Yeah, that's the difference in the generation.
It's
Back
not-
then, women, they'll
they'll
take care of the jits. They make sure the jits was
Yeah,
best for the jits.
that
You feel me?
everything family was taking care
Yeah,
of.
nowadays women, but they talking about their emotions,
Real talk.
how you did them, and you know what I'm saying? They gonna use them jits, but for real, they gonna use them jits against you because they
know it
emotions.
exists.
Yeah,
I
they real
truly
life.
know it exists, and I don't like it.
And no offense to y'all, baby mamas on here, like, you know what I'm saying? I
Well,
feel
it's
like
our
y'all
time,
cool.
D. It's our time.
Like I done
So
said
what's some
something
of
that
y'all
hit
issues?
home or something.
Why can't ask what's some of their issues? With
Who's?
some of their issues.
What part?
Some of their issues with this co-parent, they got more than one baby dad. Why you
Yeah, what's
asking?
up? How
Why
y'all
been
feel about
asking no
that?
questions?
Yeah, how y'all
I
feel?
do
You got
have-
a baby daddy too, right? Yeah, how y'all
I do.
feel
I
about
have
that?
I have two, but one has been gone like since my daughter was 1. He been in prison, so I really haven't had much dealings with him. But the other one, we cool. We like, I mean, we have our difference in raising her. He kind of ruled with an iron fist, but I'm more of a nurturer. I nurture and
Hey,
I try to.
You like to cry.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to spank. You rather cry.
I don't know about.
I don't mean like
cry,
you
not
ain't too
spank.
much of a.
No, I talk. I do more of
Right.
talking and trying to get into her head and trying to understand like why you did what you did. Trying to,
Understandable, yeah.
you know what
But
I'm
do
saying?
you go against his discipline
Sometimes.
in front of her?
No.
Okay.
No. We don't never. You know what I'm saying? Combat in front of
Okay.
her.
Indeed.
We definitely have our conversations on the phone, but we never like combat in front of her. So
Y'all, any one of y'all got y'all baby dad on child support?
nope. But he gives me
She
voluntary.
the only one
child-
answer. Anybody else?
No, I don't
I
have.
told you my
Okay,
baby
you
daddy was
did.
on
You
child
did. What about you? She don't
He
want to
He ain't
say
paid nothing.
nothing.
He got that $80,000 in the rears. My kids grown now. They 22 and 21.
She don't want to say nothing over there.
No, I'm about to talk. I'm just letting them finish.
Oh, you letting her fit? My
But
bad.
mine,
My
but
bad.
mine, I do. He's not on child support, like
through the state.
through the state. Yeah, he actually gives me voluntary child support. He's been doing that since
Indeed.
she was born. So I mean,
Indeed.
we don't have no. Now at the beginning, like I said, when we were younger, we had issues, and we kind of grew up. Surpassed those issues. We talked about things. We communicate more effectively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We try
Indeed.
to make sure we understand one another. Now we do have our disagreements. I'm not saying we
That's
don't,
life.
but at this point in the game, we pretty straight. I can't even
question,
complain.
though. I don't mean, did y'all feel like y'all made your babies out of love? Whatever love was to y'all at that time.
A
No.
lust. Love a
It was lust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the way y'all telling each other you love each other. And
Yeah,
all.
absolutely.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I'm
it
saying.
was
But it
lust,
wasn't
but-
just so, we met each other at the Rotary nightclub, and after the club, we just
And one night,
had a
man,
baby.
caught a
yeah.
baby.
We ain't got no
saying?
one night stand babies up
Yeah.
there.
No, it wasn't no one night stand, but it was
Indeed.
definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like,
At least
I
I ain't know what
y'all
love
had-
was.
had it.
Yeah.
You had
for each
feelings,
other.
but
That
yeah.
real.
Yeah. Big fat. Indeed, I wear it all.
I got a baby out of love.
And Shawty's still over there quiet. She's still quiet over there.
No, okay, so
Okay, there she
I
go.
grew up. Okay, she's talking now.
She talking now.
There she go.
Indeed.
Come on, Indeed.
Yeah, indeed. We heard something. She woke up over there now.
came out.
Yeah. Let's see what she
I
got
was
to say.
just waiting. I was just waiting because I got a
Okay.
lot to say.
Oh Lord! Wait. We might not be ready. We might not be ready. She finna go ham right now. Go ahead.
No, but so I grew up in a family where it was my grandmother had like 7 boys, and my mom was the only girl, and I grew up watching all my uncles take responsibility for their kids. Like all of my uncles support and take care of their kids, whether they're with the mom or not. So that's all I knew. That's all I saw. My brother back there is an excellent father. Like he do everything, you know what I'm saying, for his kids, and not with you know his baby mothers. But so that's all I saw. So with my kids, my 2 older kids, their dad, they went through a phase where like he wasn't like helping as much, and he wasn't, you know, supporting or in the picture, and they used to get mad and, you know, start calling them names or don't want to talk to them or, you know what I'm saying. And I used to teach my kids, like, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, that's still your dad. You're going to respect him. You're going to call him. You're going to, you know what I'm saying, whether you want to have whether you want to deal with him or not, you going to call him Father's Day, birthday, you know what I'm saying? So I instilled that in my kids because that's all I saw.
Exactly.
When I was coming up.
Exactly.
Their dad, actually, my younger kids still calls, well, not still, but my younger kids call my older kids dad because he has something in my eye.
Yes.
It's gone. Was it?
It's gone.
It's just gone.
Okay. You're supposed to be looking.
I wasn't even paying no attention.
One day you just gonna let it crawl. What was it?
I thought it was
It's
a piece
gone,
of house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. But so yeah, my oldest kid's dad, once he came around and started helping to take care of my older kids, he actually became like a father to, I can't say a father, but he actually treated my younger kids like they were his kids. So my younger kids, because hearing their older brother and sister call him dad, they start calling him dad too. And to this day, my younger kids call him dad. And then my child under that, both of the, you know, the 2 baby daddies that, you know, that's alive, they I can't say they help take care of the rest of them, but they don't treat none of my kids that's not theirs like they're not theirs. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, we all do pretty good in that aspect.
That real.
But when the baby mama, baby daddy thing started, though, because it wasn't like that before.
So do y'all think it's good
It
to?
went like it's an epidemic now. Like everybody got baby mama, baby daddies now.
What you mean?
Let me
Like,
finish saying this though, because I did say I had a lot to say
did.
about the child. So he said, "You did."
Indeed.
So, with my baby dad, not the oldest ones, but the one in the middle, I did emotionally put him on child support,
Right.
and he was probably on child support for maybe 2 years. He never paid child support. He just still continued to give me money and pay for everything that she needed. So I made the decision to go back to the court and remove him off child support. And so now I don't have any, you know, baby dads that's on child support.
Right.
And they all take care of their kids, even my grown kids. If I call, you know, my baby dad right now and say, I need anything for the younger kids, you know, he gonna come through.
That real. That was happening then.
Really? Really?
I'm just making sure everybody cool.
That real then. That was happening. So
what you were saying about the epidemic?
Then when did that start? Because we all grew up, you know, I'm pretty sure my grandmother and granddaddy on both sides was together, on my mom and daddy's side. When did it, like, what y'all think that, I know I'm turning around and asking questions, but what y'all think started that?
Oh, that's all right.
What
Stop
that baby
being a
mama,
family.
Baby daddy just not, it ain't the father, the mother no more, like, How many
generations
baby mamas,
change.
your baby mama, like,
Generations.
Yeah, I think
Like
in the
Mom,
generation,
like your situation, like you grew up watching,
Right.
you feel me,
Right.
your mother and your people them being
Yeah.
there for
Right.
their jits.
Right.
Generations changed to what them examples wasn't set.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moving on down the
That
line.
crack.
Foundation
But I can
wasn't
remember
set
Yeah.
anymore.
that
They
crack, the
wouldn't
crack
have-
era.
Exactly.
Man. That crack
Feel me?
era was serious. The
Yeah,
crack era
Yeah.
broke
everybody
up
else turned a lot of things.
lot of stuff, man.
80s,
a lot of
that's like
fathers.
80s, know?
They was behind the walls, man. Shoot, and every child probably, at least in my crew, every child was affected. Either their mama or daddy or both of them by that crack. So it broke up a lot of the family. So then it left a young generation getting raised by the elders, by
Right.
the grandmamas and granddaddy. So I can remember that in the 80s, but
That's
it
that
was
when it
rough.
was then, bro.
It was
So
real.
you saying the term baby mama? Like
No,
it went from-
not just the term itself,
Are you
but
just
just
saying
the
the
family structure itself.
Okay, gotcha.
Not the term, just
Gotcha.
basically. the
Yeah, I
whole-
think y'all answered that earlier when y'all said that the older generation was more or less they weren't taking everything personal. They was taking all the blows.
Right.
This younger generation, they making decisions based upon their emotions. They like, I ain't taking
But
that.
show you the difference
Got me
between-
toe up.
But faith in God was different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
our
big
generation
time.
don't have it like that no more. Grandma had faith. Grandma brought it through.
I beg
Our
to
children
differ.
don't
I
bring
think
like
this
that.
generation shows a different type of faith.
It's always different. Yeah, women ain't the same.
I don't think it's the. I think
On
it's
both
faith.
ends, I
Faith
ain't
is
just saying
faith.
the women, but on both ends, it ain't the same strength. And the things that our grandparents went through, I think
absolutely.
we would have been folded. A lot of us.
Absolutely.
We got a
Yeah.
caller. We got a caller that want to say something. Go ahead, Big.
Yes, hello?
Can you hear?
Hello? I can hear you. Hello?
can you hear?
You can hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I want to go back to the point where, I don't know who was talking. I was listening. I think it was Monique. And she was saying that she always made her kids respect their dad, or the whole thing she was saying there. And I disagree with that. I don't think that kids should be forced to interact with a parent if whatever the parent has done left the kid feeling that I don't want to interact with them. Those feelings don't come out of a textbook. They come out of actions from the parent. So if the dad or mom acted in such a way that made the kid feel like I don't want to deal with them, then I would just back the kid and not let them deal with them.
You don't think, big bro, you don't think maybe due to the mother probably decisions being made because the mother don't want the dad around and the kids don't understand that to where they go to feeling some type of way thinking they dad really don't want to beat up, but it ain't because they dad don't want to beat up, but the mother playing the protector role or playing it swift to where make it got the kids brainwashed thinking that they dad don't want to do nothing for them.
Well, now that's boring. Yeah, if that's the case where the mother is restricting the interactions and then painting a one-sided picture,
Correct.
that's a different story.
Correct.
But I think if you have interactions with your daughter or your son, and despite what the mother says or father in the other case, the kid eventually at some point in age is going to realize that mom's full of shit or dad's full of
Yeah,
shit.
and then
Because
that'd be
this
a
guy-
great
A
effect.
lot of times it
Like
take
what
too
you
long.
described.
Be too many
Teenagers
years.
to figure it out.
Yeah.
But ain't
Yeah,
that
man done been done
isn't
gave
that where
up.
parenting comes in? I mean, because at some point you have that's a part of parenting. You're supposed to be teaching them, and I ain't trying to say that you could teach them to be better than someone else because I don't necessarily have that mentality. But I have to show my kids that you got to take responsibility for your actions, nobody else's. So you supposed to love regardless. I'm big on love.
That's
So
real.
you know, and love is unconditional. It's not based upon how you treat me. I'm gonna still do you how I feel as though I supposed to do you, and
That's
that's
real.
to
That's
treat
real.
you
That's real.
respectful regardless. Jason didn't do nothing for my kids. I normally don't call out names, but at the end of the day, my kids might not never. And when you hear me, never. And I ain't even got to use that term no more. They've already adapted that because that's how I raised them. They would never disrespect that dude ever.
That's real.
That's
See,
teachers.
never is a strong word because let's say not your dad. Let's change his name to Bill. Let's say Bill fuck one of the kids and you don't know nothing about it. Then that never is out the window.
That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a different subject.
And I definitely feel the same way that Tonya feel, and that's why I said when it was a situation where my kids were embarrassed. I mean, everybody know my kid's dad, and they were embarrassed because he used to get drunk, high, or whatever, and he was embarrassing to them. So as a mother, I made the decision that I don't give a fuck how embarrassed you are of him. That's your daddy. You are going to respect him. You better not never act like that ain't your daddy when you see him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He can't help that.
Exactly.
Let's say in worst case scenario, the dad's a child molester. Would you still make him?
No,
but their dad wasn't a child molester, Big. Their dad wasn't.
Never is a strong word because there are stipulations and situations where the kids should not respect the parent.
I understand that.
You as the parent, there are plenty of things you can do, not outside of sexual things. There's some things you can do verbally, emotionally, where you can lose respect to a kid who's a human.
Why can't that be a conversation versus hating?
Mr. Potato Head put together type person. There are humans with emotions and feelings. If their emotions and feelings are saying that I don't want to deal with my dad or my mom, then
you said that's okay.
He's just coming from a certain
He got his
perspective.
own
It's
kids.
all due to situation. Yeah, it's all due to situation. From the
I
angle he
understand
coming
what
from.
you're saying, Big.
That's it.
But the example that I was given is, the situation that me and my kids were in. He was never verbally abusive. He was never physically abusive. He was a good person. And I have to admit, he was a great man to me. I was just young and I wasn't ready to settle down and, but that was a great man. And when I left him, it left him bitter. So to get, Oh, he at work. Oh, so when I left him, that left him bitter in retaliation, like most women do. He didn't want to have nothing to do with the kids in spite to hurt me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew that's what it was. But at the end of the day, I know that this is a good man. You know what I'm saying? And in the end, you know what I'm saying, he did come around.
Respect him
And while he was going through that little process, I told them, you know what I'm saying, you're going to still respect him, you're going to still call him.
Even that can be a conversation as far as to him being honest, as far as to his reasoning for not even wanting to be an active dad. I feel like everything could be a conversation. Even if it was a violent or abusive, you know what I'm saying, like you got a little disrespectful with your mouth. I don't feel like it's nothing that can't be talked about. That's just that's me. And I don't think that it's an excuse for you to be able to be like, I ain't got no more respect for you. No, what you ain't gonna do, well, for me, you ain't finna punk out, you gonna stand in the paint, you gonna handle that. You're going to sit there, you're going to deal with that situation. Yeah. Exactly. You're going to bring this situation to some form of resolve versus always trying to move through life without handling issues. No, you're going to resolve that junk.
What if the resolve is a fist fight? What if you had a 15-year-old son?
Well, I ain't finna let it come to that because I done told him about that too.
His dad, and he say, like for instance, for me, if I'm with my son, and I'm going to get aggressive with him. He has to whoop me. So what you gonna do when I start whooping his ass and he start whooping my ass?
The situation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's all about growth.
It's the same conversation.
It's another conversation when you're talking about, that means that you feel like your kid can't talk to you on a certain dialogue at some point where you feel like it's disrespectful.
You forcing him to talk to me.
No, I'm not saying forcing him to talk to you. I said that it can be a conversation that can be had.
No, not at all times. Like I said.
Well, then you have that conversation when you can, is what I'm saying. If the conversation can't be had, then it can't be had. But if you can have that conversation, then have the conversation. I'm not trying to say that everything can be done, but I'm saying if there's a position for you to resolve it, resolve it. But if somebody done tapped out and they ain't trying to communicate, by all means, you're supposed to move forward.
Yeah, that part of teaching you.
Let me ask y'all this. At what age do you respect the wishes and the feelings of the child?
When they grown.
When they're grown and they're able to make their own decisions.
They grown and they ain't got that
generation now. We get
they give them too much shit.
Right, they got too much freedom to make their own damn decisions.
That's the
problem now. Sharon got 50. Fuck all that, man. I wasn't raised like I got my ass whooped up and down. I ain't got no love for this shit.
And then when it comes to their ultimate their feelings, you say be a child. So
no,
you actually be grown.
No,
and one
Make it where they can
aspect,
talk
like,
to you,
be responsible,
definitely.
be grown, do chores, or go get a part-time job or whatever. Then you can't say just be grown there. But when it comes to your feelings, I want you to be my child again and do whatever. I want you to feel how I want you to feel.
That ain't the tone that I said. I understand that you saying that's when parents say what I say goes. Just whatever I say go. That's that mentality. I don't necessarily parent that way.
So
but I get it.
There's no age where your child can have feelings.
I didn't say it. Really, Bernard.
I think.
You can't stop that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us start from the womb, though, big brother.
They can't have feelings that don't align with your feelings.
What?
A lot of that start from
You should
the
have
womb.
came. You should have came.
You right, but we can't hold you on the phone.
Big.
We can't hold you on the phone, Big.
You should have came up here. You know, we got the audience and everything. Want to make comments? You talking and
Yeah, your time is. Just go make a comment on the post because you long winded.
All right. I just want
We appreciate you.
Let them kids feel how
We
they
appreciate
want to feel.
yeah, I heard him.
Okay.
That's my point.
Hey, he might be good for the next topic, but I do got a question.
All right,
It was something that we were talking about amongst, because you know when she talk about the topic, you can be like, "Ooh, that thing gonna be hot." So you know people kind of want to get involved in it, and they need now. And I was saying, like, you may have, I think most of the time, a lot of discord come because people want the other person out of the relationship. But do you feel like because another person that moved on, you accept the drama because of how the relationship ended? Like, you know, you may have done the girl dirty. And I ain't trying to say this is it. Like, you may have cheated on her with her best friend, and now you and the best friend, y'all happily over here, done married and everything. And she over here, you know, she acting, you know, she doing the bald head whole jump. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of give up pass because you kind of feel guilty how you know what I'm saying? How you left
ended the
her.
relationship.
But that comes with maturity too, though.
Yeah, all
When you
that
get old
growth.
enough to know
Yeah.
that you played your part in hurting someone, so you
Yeah.
gotta take it and swallow it. That's what that comes with maturity. At first, shit.
You don't care.
It's all part of growth, man. Everybody ain't just, develop that at a young, like, you got immature phases. Then let alone you got situations you can't really expect for somebody that never been through it or know how to go through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to
Absolutely.
deal with them experiences before you even realize the situation.
I'm so in agreement with you.
Yeah, that's just real. Yeah, big
I
fact.
couldn't agree with you more.
Indeed.
Look, y'all ain't honest because y'all know I got about 20 bullet points. Probably got about 30 for this conversation. Y'all better talk.
Well, get
Y'all
up
cool,
there.
right?
Run
That's
the
what
point.
it's
Yeah,
for.
run them bullet points, man.
Somebody out there
Look,
can help
hold
with
on.
that.
I swear she loaded over here, boy. Go on, get at him. Knock them out.
Somebody
Okay.
getting it right.
Well, Monique had made a point. Do you think it's okay to badmouth the other parent?
Nah.
Nah.
You going to do it out of
It's a lot of this going around.
Always
It
Yeah, right in
it
the
does
moment,
happen
it can
quite
happen, you know what I'm
frequently.
saying? But it's something about, you got to respect that,
You gotta have respect.
definitely,
I don't, like you said, I don't ever want to hear my child say nothing about
that too.
Nah, you got to have respect. Of course, venting is different. Like, if I got a homeboy, I know that's on that level.
Yeah.
And he going through, bro, this is what I got going on.
Yeah.
But they ain't gonna finna, BITCH or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? None of that. Nah.
That's what's up.
Ain't doing it
I
in
don't
front of
agree
the
with that
kid.
either. I definitely do not agree with as far as the bad mouthing the parent. I don't care what you did.
I done slipped. Now, I ain't going to lie. I done said a
Oh,
brr.
no, it gonna come.
No.
Yeah, he in the situation.
I done
it's
did
fine.
it. You know what I'm saying? I done did it because it's going to happen
it
in the
get
heat of the moment.
Yeah.
You going to get one in every now and then. But it's like when you know better and you know, like, damn,
Yeah.
I don't mean that. You
Yeah.
know,
But you talk about to her?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, straight
No, I'm
to
saying
him.
that's
In front of the
conversation.
kids.
Yeah, straight,
No, y'all,
straight
because
to
y'all
him.
gonna go at it.
Yeah, it's
You know,
direct
gonna
line.
get that.
Yeah, it's
Get
direct
that.
line.
But you talking about in front of the kids?
No, yeah, I'm
Nah,
talking
nah,
the people as
Oh,
well.
just
Yeah,
talking about it.
yeah.
bad
Period.
mouth.
The relaying
Nah,
to
never-
them.
Oh,
in a
never
negative
do that.
We
way.
from Florida.
Yeah.
See, we naturally say big. You know what I'm saying? Like, that bitch
that's
done
different.
did this. That bitch done put an injunction on me. That's real life. You know what I'm saying? I done spoke on it like that bitch done put an injunction on me. Do I,
Right.
intentionally mean to disrespect
Yeah.
her? No.
No.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
talking.
Just talking.
Just
though.
talking.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I know
as
somebody
far-
refer to everybody as Beasley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
don't
fact.
mean-
But it ain't
Yeah.
no. You know, women take it wrong. Yeah, you know, that's how it go. But
You done got
meaning
an
it,
injunction.
no, I don't mean it.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Yeah.
She's scared for her life.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. That be part of just emotions, then the bad advice, and
exactly.
thinking people in your ear, they don't know what the hell is going on, what they talking about.
Exactly.
When you put in the junk, I ain't did nothing. You hear me? I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. So it's dismissed. Yeah, it's dismissed and all that. It was just part of the emotion. You know what I'm saying? It was just, she ain't even show the court. You just filed a petition, don't show the court. You know, you just emotionally and your feelings by something. And you know, you kind of feel like, oh, I got you. I'm on brr. You know that how it go. But it ain't that, you know.
I can't.
It's real out here.
It's real life, but it's
big real.
I swear.
Real.
All right, well, we got, because y'all know we be live, so our live audience, we make sure that they're included with their comments so they have something to say.
I guess Vanessa is agreeing to a comment that you made earlier. She says, "Preach, Tonya."
Oh, Lord.
Julia we love Julia. Julia, thank you for watching. She says, "My mom never bad talked my dad or anything, but because of his actions, I don't fuck with him. And he tried to come around when I graduated and running track and went to college. Nah, nigga, you wasn't there when my mom rubbed my back or wiped my tears. No one can get me to talk to that man after hearing what he said or wanted to be a sometime father." She also commented that she disagreed. As a kid, I had strong feeling, and all I was going to act out or talk or no talk or whatever. But I had to agree with the caller. My mom respected my feelings and understood my hurt.
Absolutely. I think it's okay to understand someone. It's also, that's her perspective. Exactly, that's her position. Like, we ain't here to trump nothing. If that's where she at, that's where she at.
And she nurtured the situation, and then again, we're not actually there to know what actually went on with that. But she could have, also, encouraged the relationship with her father.
But she probably at an age too where she can make her own decisions with her emotions really.
Well, now she is, but you know what I'm saying? When she was
but a
in
lot
high
of
school,
times,
graduating and
fathers
stuff
feel,
like that, she was
I done
older.
seen situations, fathers feel more comfortable now to come to the child when they once graduated because they're not under the house or the home of the mother.
Yeah.
So now he feel like,
exactly.
I feel like you're free from that when I come talk to you.
Right.
So if I give any advice, please do, because that's where it's hard at. Because after 18, whatever years, however she is, he ready to do that. Please take that time to do that with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't give up on her. He was just waiting on that time.
Yeah, that's good.
I ain't care what my dad did. I wanted my dad there.
And I don't want them to get the wrong impression about when I say I made my children. Because it wasn't it wasn't like I'm not hearing them and I'm not understanding them. It was a nurturing situation where, you know what I'm saying, I understand, baby, he might make you embarrassed, he might embarrass you or whatever, but at the end of the day, that's your daddy.
You had that conversation.
Yeah, I still had it. It wasn't just like, oh, you gonna respect him or you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
But see,
I did.
Yeah, because I had that same conversation with my daughter with her dad being in prison her whole life. She's getting ready to be 16. He went when she was 1. At the end of the day, he has not been around, and I understand that, but yet that's still dad. You know what I'm saying? You still, respect him. You still, when he calls, talk
that's
to him.
Part of teaching. It's part of teaching, period. Respect your elder, period. So it's beyond just, that's my father. It's just, period. Respect your elder. You know what I'm saying? Then with it being your dad, it's like an additional. Yeah, now that's your father as well. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
That's a sad situation.
Yeah.
But that's an average black man story. They have children. A lot of them talking to them. That's what they cry about the most behind the walls. You know what I'm saying, about their children not being able to be there for their children.
Real life.
So you know what I'm saying, and that's what the cycle is, and understanding, and it's big for me because my father was a Black Panther. You know what I'm saying, so I get a lot of my education from him. And when he was in the '60s, seeing the fact that what the civil rights movement did, and when the crack era, you know what I'm saying, so we were forced with nothing. The civil rights movement itself destroyed the black community. You know what I'm saying? When people celebrate, that's why I know a lot of people might disagree, but Martin Luther King himself and that movement destroyed the community because we wanted acceptance instead of building our own. So once we got accepted over there, we lost. Once we realized that we can go to Red Lobster, we start going to Momma Nails. So it ain't no business.
I feel
so
what
then
saying.
when by this time black community destroyed, they put crack in the community, left black men with nothing. So you got to do what you got to do to take care of your family.
Yeah.
So all this epidemic happened. That's why I feel bad for that situation, because all that led to Now, when you got older people looking at young black men talking about why they do this and why they do that, y'all left us with nothing. Y'all marching to drink out the same water fountain.
That's the thing. People don't
Fuck all
understand what
that. Why we ain't got our own
go
shit.
through.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They building on our own shit. So we left with nothing. So we left with evidence. So I feel bad for that situation.
That real.
For real.
That real.
Valid point.
My baby daddy messaged me and said, "You better talk, baby mama."
But yeah, just to leave off on Monique, no, it is because you have those hard conversations. Because Jason done came out he's been very disrespectful to even the kids, and you get that crown on the shoulder, so you have to have that conversation. So it ain't that you're not hearing them emotionally, because at the end of the day, you're a mother 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But also I gotta teach you about character. Once again, you still gotta hold them responsible. I ain't saying that it was okay, but y'all so slow. But you know what I'm saying? Also, when you understand, it's like when somebody tell you who you are, then accept them for that. They ain't lying. If you know he a disrespectful, unruly person with his mouth, you can't be surprised when he come at you that way. You know what I'm saying? It might be hurtful, but I'm pretty sure you knew, because everybody know he's disrespectful. And it's okay to be hurt, but at the same time, you held accountable. You got to walk in your own. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for your own decisions,
Right.
not his.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's good. You teaching them character. I like that.
Absolutely. But I have another question. I had a conversation once again with somebody else, and they think it's okay to block their baby mama or block their baby daddy. Y'all think that's okay?
Yeah, sometimes.
You think that's okay?
Yeah.
I think that's.
Tell me why. So
I
if
think
the
it's
kid is
chi-
under
to me,
8,
I
if
think
the kid
it's
is under
childish.
18. We talking about minors.
Yeah.
You talking about blocking, like, what you say?
Blocking
Talking
them on the
about blocking them
phone.
on the cell phone, blocking them on the phone,
So
social
they
media,
can't reach.
Oh,
so they
social
can't
media.
reach
Social
you.
media.
Yeah.
Everywhere, all
On
methods
phone,
of
so they
contact.
can't
I
reach
thought you
you,
said
and you got their
social
child.
No, all methods of contact.
Nah,
They
nah,
don't
nah,
call
nah,
me,
that's
don't
childish.
text
Nah, I thought you
me,
were talking
don't
about social
communicate.
media. Nah,
That's childish.
nah.
Done.
Nah.
I feel like taking you off block.
Yeah,
Social media.
Look, I think
So
we
the
got
baby
one more
mama
gr-
got the child, and the dad
has
or
blocked them.
The dad has blocked.
Well, either
Or
or.
the
'Cause
mom.
you know,
Yeah, it
we
could
got-
be either,
It
yeah.
could be either or, but one of the parents have blocked each other.
Yeah.
And we got minor kids.
The maturity.
He ready to talk again.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
That
he
big
coming
bro.
in. He back
He
in.
said that's okay. Why? Go to the mic.
I'll go to the mic pressure. Really?
Situation, he was very abusive. So he was spilling out all this foolishness that had nothing to do with the
Well,
child.
that's different.
So he had to be blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the stuff that he did get through my phone, I presented
I
it
guess
to the
it's a
judge.
case by case.
Yeah, that's
it's a
yeah,
case
that's a
by
whole
case
totally different
scenario.
Yeah.
That's completely
That's
different, but
blockable.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
say
It's
situations.
case by case
Situations.
instance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that matters. Situations.
That's safe.
Circumstances.
okay, Big, go ahead. He wanted to call in again. Big
Lord
wanted to call in
Jesus.
again.
Indeed, big brother.
I was forced to call in again.
I know that right. You were
really?
forced to respect your pops and all that.
The guy, what's the guy's name that was speaking about the Black Panthers?
Oh, Lord. Don't turn
That's
this
one
One dog.
into the conversation.
That one
What's his
dog.
name?
I see 1G.
One dog. That's one dog.
One dog. It's one dog. Yeah, go ahead, Big.
Now he had mentioned something about the Black Panthers and the comparison with Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King and civil rights movement putting us in the position we are as in a bad situation, putting us in a bad situation. That's like total BS.
Oh Lord.
That Martin Luther King and others,
let Bernard
not
call with that
including the Black Panthers,
I know what he's
bro.
saying.
their marches and civil rights put us in a better position. You know, when
Think so?
To an extent, big
think
bro.
so?
To an extent.
what was that?
To an extent. I mean,
Well,
where he was getting at is
Well,
the
but-
fact
So we
that
don't want to get off topic with this conversation, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Let me answer real quick before we get back.
He said
Which
sometime.
way you think better though, brother? How it got better for? Because how many jobs in the black community? I just want to answer it real quick. Then we can go back to the situation. How has it got better for the black community? I'm talking about the black community. I'm not talking about anything else.
Those are obvious reasons that I don't have to name.
What's that?
Well, for me, like I make jobs in the black community, so boom, talking to me and maybe talking to someone else.
Man, bless you. God bless you, bro.
But what I'm saying is that to even as a general statement, that statement is so far off base when it is clearly better, you know, from financially, political, social, economic, everything's been improving.
I want to reply to that.
Now,
too,
we didn't get the way that a lot of people wanted to be separate and have our own thing. Even those things, when realized and materialized, probably would have turned out worse. If you think about it, like, you know, how people say, we want our own section of the United States, just give us that, move us to the East Coast and the West, if y'all stay on the West Coast or whatever, give us that Philippine island, all these crazy ideas they had back in the day. That would make you an easier target, you know. The Black Panthers and some of those radical black organizations back in the day had their way, and they separated us physically. That's easy to destroy you, because I would push all my enemies over there.
I was just speaking, when I said the Panthers, I was speaking about who I was raised by. I was speaking about who I was raised by. I wasn't saying anything. I was saying what I said as far as the civil rights movement. That's what I was speaking on, and how it destroyed the families. And after that movement, that was the biggest thing by the FBI, is to destroy the black family, because the woman was so powerful behind the movement in the civil rights and the Black Panther movement. So they wanted to destroy the family right after that.
You had said the civil rights movement itself destroyed the black
It destroyed us. It destroyed us because we took.
What it did.
Well, that's
like-
cool.
it was like
We'll have another discussion on that.
Yeah, mentally bit, bro, is what he was getting at. Like, you feel me? Once we was able to start going into the white restaurants, once we started going into the white restaurants, we didn't care about that black-owned restaurant no more. Just because we had the freedom to go into a white restaurant,
The
that's why we started
hotels,
going to white
everything.
restaurants.
The
black
they was
money,
in Altamont,
the
they
black
was in
money market
Eatonville,
started getting
West
spun with the
Side.
white man. You feel me?
So we ain't got that no more.
But we're gonna have another.
But we'll have another discussion on that.
We're gonna have another discussion on that.
I don't know that line from wanting to eat at Benihana to now I'm willing to go to jail. You know, I don't know that
His
line.
mind different to me.
I don't connect
He
those
move
two.
different to me.
We get it. We
move different, way
definitely
different from me.
gonna have a
But
different
we'll have
topic
another
about
discussion
that. We're
on
gonna
that.
have him back.
Hopefully
on
y'all
about
have
another
me back
topic.
for
Yeah.
me and
With
Lil
you.
Brother.
With you.
Both of them
Yeah,
together.
that's our homeboy. He gonna
Yeah, no, that's our homeboy. He be on.
We appreciate it.
Be on.
I want to
Big.
Yeah.
We better get back on topic because we finna end the show.
Okay, they're running, man.
It sound like knowledge. You got knowledge.
Yeah. Straight.
Yes, you is our homeboy, and you do.
Tell them
F
there's
with us
always
like
much
that.
love.
Bye.
man.
I ain't gonna call here and talk about something that ain't got nothing to do with the topic. And you mad because we don't want you to continue to call.
Bro, take it to history. We're talking about social studies and everything.
He sure will.
All back.
I love to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Move different.
He
he'll
definitely
finna get
knowledgeable.
technical,
He
bro.
definitely
I'm talking about
knowledgeable.
8th grade social
He'll
study.
run it.
8th grade social study, he'll finna get technical, bro. Well, you gotta pass that to move on to high school. Yeah, he'll finna get technical. Yeah.
But we appreciate him though, man. Ain't
Y'all
nothing
gotta
wrong
be
with that.
ready now. Y'all
Y'all
come
better
back
be
and
ready.
he here. Y'all got to
Oh
be
yeah,
ready.
I'm with that. I really
I'm
want to
ready
be
for
here.
him.
Yeah,
I'm
big
ready.
fan.
I love that though. That's
Yeah,
what
I
iron
know.
sharpens. That's what iron sharpens iron is.
Exactly,
Though.
iron
That's
sharpen
what-
iron.
You got to have these
Set
conversations.
a mouthful a bit.
Y'all
dog.
chill. We ain't gonna get to say that. We got to
Respect.
Wrap it up some more too, bro. I love it. I love this show, y'all. This is one of the funniest ones I ever
dealing
did.
with
I
it.
like this.
That's what's up.
I like
Thank
this.
you.
I love this,
What's up?
man.
We appreciate it. Yay.
We need this.
Yay. Huh?
Okay, Tosh was telling me to get some. What's the time looking like?
Yeah. What you
Okay.
want? You
Well,
what you
no,
want, like
we-
this? I ain't hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
She said wrap it up.
We good. So I mean, we don't have to go over anything else. I think the conversation was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anybody got some
I
last
loved it. I loved it.
comments?
I appreciate y'all.
Oh, no,
Definitely.
we appreciate
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, the conversation.
It was great. It was
Look,
great.
indeed.
It was great.
I like that. I like you keep saying it.
Right, indeed. Indeed.
Did the thing. I see. He did. I love it though. I had a good time.
That's what's
I
up.
enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it.
But that's the whole goal, is to definitely, because we want to make sure that everybody is comfortable with saying their, from, giving their perspective. We don't want to trump nobody, so everybody is able to,
One thing
speak their
I
truth.
do want to let y'all know, I do respect all baby mothers.
Yeah.
Because one
Yeah.
thing about it, y'all is
Yeah.
mothers 24/7.
He'll be back, though.
365. You feel me? Like, one thing about it, some men, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's some of us don't
appreciate
really
y'all.
understand that.
Right.
But when you gotta respect a
At
woman.
the end of the day,
with
a lot of
child,
times we don't.
every day.
As
all
a
day.
black man, we
You
don't
feel
have
me?
too much. We don't have too
Respect
much
that.
else. But y'all held us down. Even
Exactly.
if y'all held us down. I ain't gonna lie.
We ain't slipping up.
Y'all,
Y'all ain't got
when
room
we
for
slip,
slip
y'all
up.
there.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when we slipping up, y'all ain't got no room for slip up.
Yeah.
Y'all still
Real,
on top
Yeah,
of
man.
say that again.
So I want to say that we do love it, so
respect
ain't no
that.
disrespect to nobody,
all,
no name. We
whatsoever.
just giving our
My baby mama.
personal
And I love the
situation
fact
or a
that both
homeboy
of y'all
situation.
Said,
You're a
y'all
great
got
baby
some
mama.
great baby mamas. Y'all gave props to
gonna
y'all
have to
baby
do that
mamas.
again, 'cause
they was
Y'all
all
good
talking.
moms.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, well, he was trying to say something to his baby mom, and I wanted to make
Okay,
sure.
yeah, my baby mama. I love my baby mama. You was a great mother. Don't take no offense. We ain't on the best of terms, but you
Oh,
a
I
great
thought
baby
you was about
mama.
to rap. That sounded like
I wasn't
He came up with a hook,
Yeah,
then.
but
He came up with
that
a
was
hook.
diss,
Yeah,
but
yeah. He came up with a hook,
like,
then.
quit, like, yeah, it's just embedded like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean by
Yeah.
disrespecting
real,
a woman with a child. Is she there for mine's 24/7?
Absolutely.
When I'm here right now at the interview, right now she taking care of the jits. You feel what I'm saying? I
Absolutely.
respect.
That's
that,
real.
You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all
That's
to know.
real.
Good
A
looking
man
out,
do
baby
respect
mama.
y'all.
I love all. I love mine as well. I love all the women, man. All the mothers out there. Black, white, green, or yellow.
Yeah, all
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Black,
y'all.
black,
Everybody.
white, green, or yellow.
All
I know
of
it's a hard job, man. We
All
ain't
the
saying
mothers,
that, but
yeah.
just listen to the man sometime. Let the man cry.
To the
Whatever.
man
Let
next
it
to the
let
man
it
next to the
pull her
mother.
heart out. Give him some love, man. Show the man some love out there, man.
To be able to communicate
For real.
effectively, you need to be able to stop talking so much and listen sometimes.
Please.
Please.
Vice versa.
And stop putting everybody in the business.
That part,
Absolutely.
you feel me? We be worried about everybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
And
Ain't her
that be the
business down
problem,
the
bro.
street.
I'm telling you, 9 times out
Yeah.
of 10, if you ain't had your friends in your
Yeah.
ear,
Yeah.
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll probably be able to
And
allow
you don't know what her advice coming from. You don't know how she feels.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that right now. You know, I deal with that right now.
Yeah, just like you got a
Everybody
homegirl
in the
man,
ear.
cause you got a
You
good
know
man,
what
so
I'm
she
saying?
gonna
Don't
say
do that,
anything
bro.
to throw that off.
Don't do that,
No,
bro.
man.
One thing I ain't no Facebook person. I don't put my business on Facebook. Expose my business. You
Yeah.
feel me? That's just part of being a man
Yeah.
for me, or just being a mature man, a person.
Absolutely.
You don't
That's
expose
real.
your business to everybody.
Yeah, because they
Everybody
do
gonna
that
have
too,
their own
y'all.
opinion.
I
Oh,
gotta
man,
say,
they get
do.
bad,
They'll
boy.
you know, they'll put their baby dad or the baby mama.
Boy,
on
West
there.
Side, one
Lord,
part
they got
Eastville,
going
boy.
on.
I got a couple sisters I love out there. Neighborhood
expose
sisters,
some.
y'all need to stop that. I got a
Ooh, I
few,
can't.
couple
Ooh.
neighborhood sisters.
I
I
ain't
love
even
them to
I
death,
ain't even
but
the baby mama or the baby
they be
dad. I
killing
got
me.
a
Boy, I be
problem.
feeling bad for them niggas who they be talking about. Like,
Yeah,
Lord
boy.
have mercy.
Yeah, boy.
That
Yo.
ain't crucial.
And that just
Yo.
be immaturity. That's
Yo.
it, man.
That's
We-
why
But they should, they should be grown now.
Yeah,
It is,
yeah.
and it's so unfair because all of us don't agree with that foolery. Is what I'm saying.
Right, that's real.
Right.
Appreciate
All
to
of
hear
us
that too.
definitely do not agree with that.
Cause she get 121 likes after that shit.
Yeah,
man.
man.
because there's a
And
lot of
everybody
people
in your
that
chest.
agree. I'm just saying.
Everybody
just
looking
check-
at you
all
crazy.
of us just don't.
Everybody got
But
an opinion of you like you
121
just damn.
And shares.
Yeah,
You ain't never did nothing
All
right.
that shit, yeah.
You ain't did nothing right.
And they talking. Hey, did y'all see what such and such put on there?
But they
y'all
laugh.
like,
But when they get on the
right.
phone, they laughing at the same way they
Yeah,
share.
talking about it.
Yeah, they talking about it.
No, I don't appreciate it, 'cause especially when they've been uncorrected, because they ain't gonna go back and they ain't gonna go take that post down, or they ain't
Yeah.
gonna go back and
Yeah.
tell them that the baby dad or the baby mama done stepped up. No, correct that.
The
You
ones I can't
unruly
stand
with
is
that
the
mouth.
ones
Go
did
correct that.
But the next day they back with them in the
Be
bed.
back with
buffet
it.
again.
Right, you feel me?
That too. That's
Yeah, so sometimes
But
them
you
lights,
gotta
bro.
stay level. Yeah,
Sometimes
it
them
can't be
lights,
ups
bro,
and downs.
and laugh is they be laughing at the baby mama that post.
Yeah.
Cause it like your crazy ass gonna be right back with
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
You
that's
just,
how
you
it
know what
go.
I'm saying? But that's why you
Yeah.
don't put people in your business when you
Yeah.
beef. You
Nah.
feel
It's
me?
easy to solve stuff when it's just y'all two can handle
Exactly,
that.
when
You
you
put
got
extra
all-
people in it, you can't solve nothing like
It'd be
that.
crazy.
You got too many people in your ear.
But I love this though. I'm coming back.
Oh, you coming back?
Yeah, bro, man.
Gotta be here
Look,
with
man,
one
we
dog.
keep it over here.
I swear. Your brain, bro.
Lil Big gonna have to
Brain,
be.
yeah,
He
please,
gonna have to
brain.
be what it is.
Big
Guest
man.
host.
Yes, a guest host. That's
Yeah,
what
that'll
he gonna have
work.
to be.
That'll
'Cause he
work.
gonna
That'll
take the whole show.
Just one thing, do not sit him beside bro. You can't sit beside bro. Put him like in the middle somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Put him right beside bro. I'm telling you.
We gonna just let them do a takeover.
Yeah,
I don't even
yeah,
want to be in that
It's
conversation.
love. It's love.
Okay, we're gonna need to have the remote, Mitchell, next time to be able to turn the mics off.
Alright.
We had that conversation. But thank y'all all for tuning in, and thank you guys for coming out and supporting us. We want to thank our guests for coming in. We really
yes.
enjoyed y'all.
Yeah,
We
we
really
had
enjoyed
fun.
this
Shout out,
conversation.
man. My
Appreciate
pleasure.
y'all.
My honor.
ND and one dog. Y'all want to give them y'all information?
Yeah. Follow me on IG, Mr. ND
Okay, y'all.
himself. Follow me on IG, Mr. ND himself. Twitter, Mr. ND himself. My music, all that done on all major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, everything at Mr. ND. You know, check in. Yeah.
Instagram one dog, numeral 1 DAWG 83WP. y'all just holler at me YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, Reggie Ford. That's it, though.
Indeed.
Much love to SWP.
Yeah, plenty of real, that real. Much love. Appreciate y'all for real.
And thank y'all for being bold enough to come and have the conversation.
no
for
problem.
real.
Conversation to have.
Yeah, because look, y'all was becoming extinct.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think we're gonna get no guests.
I'm glad she ain't getting back up again, though. Back up, though.
Yeah, because she was finna go
Cheryl,
at it.
She was fired up back
Look,
there.
I
Cheryl,
swear,
you
she
said
fired
you
up.
You ain't get back up.
Yeah,
I was finna put the mic to the side. Like that.
she looked like she wanted to throw the mic for a little bit.
So we want to make
For
sure you
real.
guys like us on Facebook,
Absolutely.
which is Spoken with Purpose.
Yes, indeed.
Instagram, Spoken with Purpose 3.
Yep.
And then YouTube, Spoken with Purpose Podcast. Make sure you guys go on, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that. We're also on the major platforms,
And with the
Anchor,
Spotify,
podcast,
everything. SoundCloud,
Indeed.
Apple Podcast, and one of them you can think about it. We on all of them.
Follow SWP, fellas.
That's
all
real.
that Spoken with Purpose,
Yeah.
baby. We
Love
also
this.
got some new things coming out.
Yes.
We definitely finna have a contest here shortly where we're gonna have names put into a bowl. We're gonna draw some names, give out some gifts. Y'all stay tuned.
Monetary.
We got some monetary. Yes.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff coming up. Y'all stay tuned.
Yes,
with SWP.
yes.
Okay.
And make sure y'all subscribe. We do say that on our platforms. We want to make sure that you guys are following. And we love the support on Facebook. But look, y'all already
please
know this is a
subscribe,
business.
man.
Make sure y'all go subscribe to Spoken with Purpose
Got
Podcast.
to.
We want that support on all levels. For real, because we have some things that we even need to do on YouTube, but there's certain things that has to be done before certain things can be done, if y'all get me. So make sure y'all go and
Hey,
subscribe.
don't be that person. Be like, oh, I was there when once y'all blow up.
Yeah.
Oh, I was there. Yeah, no, be there from day one. Don't be that person. I hate that when I hear it in the hood.
Day one from day
I
one.
get pull up to the stove. Wait,
Big
you know,
fact.
nah, bro. I ain't never seen shut nothing. I ain't never seen show no love, no kindness, no nothing. Don't be that
Ain't
person,
coming.
man. For real.
Right. And share. Because, oh my God, it's crazy how much support we have in the streets. And we don't even be knowing y'all be watching. So we really
let it
appreciate
be known.
y'all support. But when y'all see the video shared, man, I'm telling you, those views, they help. I'm telling you, it ain't just a view. They help in realness.
And if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, please hit us up on any of those platforms. We about to go ahead and get up out of here.
Yes.
Well, love, man.
Mitchell got his hand
Indeed.
ready.
Speak my mind until they close the curtains. Look deep inside before you judge the surface. Look in my eyes and read between the lines. My soul is searching. Chosen, gotta focus. They notice. Tonya, Kiana, and Molly. Action, no bragging, no boasting. Facts with no capping. They hold it down. Envision these words and use them as power. The enemy lurking. I'm calling my spirit, and if it can hear me, it's spoken with purpose.